and I think we have people joining us online, so we want to be just cognizant of the time. We usually end these meetings 1 hour, so at 1 o'clock. And then we always encourage people, like, you know how it is before the meeting, how we were all like networking and talking, and then after the meeting, so you were always encouraged to just hang out and connect with one another. So that is my long-winded welcome for everyone. So just a few updates from the Multicultural Coalition. Can I have a show of hands, online and in person? How many for you, this is your first time attending one of our meetings? Holy cow, I love this. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm just gonna give you just a brief 90-second version of the Multicultural Coalition. Many of you have been around since the beginning. We have been doing this work 2.5, almost 3 years. Now we started getting together virtually around the virtual table, just focused on our most vulnerable populations, our communities of color, and figuring out what are the challenges, and then finding the solutions in a barrier-free way. And doing it all in a safe manner. We want to make sure that everyone feels like they belong, like this is home. So we have had tough discussions over the last few years, talking about racism, inequities, you name it. And this is a place, a safe space for all of us to grow and connect. So thank you again for joining us. And if you have not been put on our official list, I'm going to point to Gina over here. You can email Gina at ourmci.org, and we'll make sure that you're on our distribution list as well as the meeting list too. So just a few updates from our end. MCI, like everybody thinks, well, COVID is done. Well, I'm here to tell you COVID is not done. It still goes on. It's not going on at the pace as it was perhaps a few years ago, but we're still doing our work in community building, community outreach, making sure if somebody is concerned about COVID, the testing, the treatment, etc., vaccination. So we're still here. We're still going out in the community and doing on-site health fairs with accessible vaccinations. So, and I will tell you, Gina reminded me or told me the other day, I think we have 15 events coming up in the next 5 months. 8 of those include vaccinations. So we're also doing outreach. We are in as many events, community events as we can be. So, and then we're still offering vaccinations. So with that, I just want to point out at your seat, we have been sharing the information from the state. If you know, or you yourself think you have COVID, there are treatment options available through the state, and they make it really easy through their telehealth program. So you should have that flyer at your seat as well. Just want to make sure everyone's in the know about that and share that information with your community. One other thing, you got an email from me yesterday regarding our emergency health care unwinding. I think I just screwed that up. But the unwinding of the public health emergency. So there's a lot of things going on in that landscape, like what is the impact? So we have a lunch and learn tomorrow from, I believe it's 1 to 3. So you are welcome to join us, but space and seating is limited. We are hosting that event at United Way. Thank you very much, Peter, for hosting us. But that will be informative, and the whole purpose is to make sure people have the information and know about the resources and the impact of what this is going to have in all the communities that we serve. In addition to that, we have a Feeding America tour on Thursday, March 30th at 10 a.m. If you're not familiar with this, we started doing this about a year ago too. We do on-site visits to our local resources to learn more, so you can help share that information with your communities that you serve. So that has been really beneficial. We have had a great reception to those, kind of like field trips, I guess, is what I would call them. One thing I would be remiss if I did not say this, and there's kind of 2 parts to this, is a huge shout out, thank you to Fox Valley Technical College for hosting these meetings for us. It's so so huge because we love the blend of the technology. We can have people hybrid, online, and in person. And then if there's one thing maybe you didn't know about that you might have heard me talk about in the last year is we also have a donated bus. So Multicultural Coalition received a bus, a decommissioned bus from the Community Blood Center. And everybody, if you know about it, you're like, where's the bus? What's going on with the bus? Well, the bus is also being housed at Fox Valley Technical College. So they're making sure that while it sits out there in the freezing cold, that it still runs, maintenance, that sort of thing. So another huge thank you for their support in that endeavor as well. The update on the bus is we also, thanks to United Way and the community, are getting that bus outfitted to be available to area nonprofits to use. So the idea is, yes, it will be used for health, medical services, outreach, but it's really about community building, and we're trying to design this space so it's flexible. So maybe somebody wants to go out in the community as a mobile library, as a mobile food pantry. So just know, like, I am trying like everything to get that bus out in the community as soon as possible because we have heard directly that there is a need. Just keep in mind, this bus is not to transport people, but it's to go on site where you need it. So stay tuned for that. We're super excited about the bus. And then one other thing, I keep saying that, there's one other thing. There's so many things to tell you guys about. Is that at these meetings, we want to make sure we feature our very own local, what we call minoritized small businesses. And so what that means is moving forward, we want to feature all the wonderful, beautiful businesses that we have in this area who are Black owned or perhaps by a Hmong person, or you name it. We want to make sure that we're integrating that into all of our meetings. And we have been supportive since we started. We always make sure as much as possible to use these smaller, diverse owned businesses as part of our events. We just want to kick it up a notch or two. So with that, today's lunch is Ong's Kitchen. And if you guys are not aware, Ong's Kitchen opened up on the north side of town where the north side Copper Rock is, and also right around the corner from my house. So we are thrilled in the Cruz household to have Ong's Kitchen so close to us. But if you have not tried them out yet, give them a try. They're fantastic. I tell you, we've taste tests and everything. So that is just one example of every time we have a meeting, we want to feature and just call out a small, diverse owned business. So I think there's a couple more things. Just so you know, there's a flyer. We have the Calumet County Health Fair. I think that's next week coming up as well. There will be on-site resources, a number of community partners. There will not be vaccinations at this event, but there will be information, tons of information and resources. So we're super excited about that as well. I think that might be it. Unless Gina tells me I have something else, I think I'm going to turn it over to Sarah Schneider with Valley Transit, who is so gracious in lining up and working with our speakers.
Thanks, Lisa, and welcome everybody. As not to disappoint William, I have to do a stellar introduction. So I'm going to start with a personal story before I go on script. And the first part about my story is, for those of you who may be close to me, know I've been dealing with chronic back pain for the last couple of months. And so one of the community events I attended when I literally couldn't walk was the Appleton Downtown Business Awards dinner, and I met Fanni. She was being an award recipient as a downtown business owner, and we bonded immediately over her military disability, aka sciatica, and it was love at first sight. I'm heavily drugged right now, so that's why I'm standing before you.
This is a live meeting, Sarah.
Legal, medical, I love our healthcare professionals, just for the record. So from there, Fanni introduced me to Chinese New Year. What an event. So next year, we're gonna have to get that on everybody's calendar because I was blown away, and Fanni, you're gonna need a much larger venue. It was amazing. Never seen so much food in my life. Then I had the opportunity to, as a Valley Transit, meet her at her business, totally experience her bubble tea. You have to have bubble tea. I see them over there. Feel free to be rude during this meeting and go get some because it's so good. And then we rode the bus. And I just have so much respect for Fanni to explore our community through public transportation and see all the ways that she can continue to support those whom she interacts with. Oh, and Veterans Village too. You introduced me to Veterans Village. So we have so much story behind the story. So now I'll go on the script. The Northeast Wisconsin Chinese Association is a community-focused nonprofit organization that strives to preserve and celebrate the Chinese Asian American culture, traditions, languages, their businesses, and charities in the Northeast Wisconsin area. Their mission is to foster cultural exchange and understanding between Chinese Asian Americans and the wider community to promote multicultural awareness and appreciation through the sharing of their rich cultural heritage. NEWCA, N-E-W-C-A, is dedicated to serving the needs of the Chinese Asian American children, youth, adults, and families by providing social, cultural, business, and educational programs. Furthermore, the organization plays an active role in building a more diverse and inclusive community by serving as a bridge between Chinese Americans, government agencies, other ethnic groups, and organizations. So the two amazing speakers we have joining us today. First, I'll introduce Fanni. She holds a position as president of Northeast Wisconsin Chinese Association as a first-generation immigrant, U.S. Army combat veteran, and a small business owner. She brings a unique perspective and passion in her role as president. With background in social work, Fanni has a deep understanding of the challenges and obstacles faced by minority groups in society and is motivated to make positive change. There's no doubt about it. Her deep understanding and personal goal is to promote diversity, culture, and inclusion in Northeast Wisconsin. In addition to her leadership with NEWCA, Fanni owns a popular Asian pop culture themed bubble tea shop in Appleton, and she holds a master's degree in social work from the University of Green Bay and a bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in applied behavioral analysis. So she's very diverse. I hope you get into your story because it's amazing. Actually, you have to get into your story. That's amazing. And Lindsay also joins us today. Lindsay, we're honored to have you as Vice President of NEWCA. She brings a strong passion and commitment to her role. She's driven by her love and compassion for nonprofit work and is dedicated to promoting peace and connection between all communities, particularly minorities. She strongly believes that the cultural diversity enriches our society and brings benefits to everyone. With a background in education, she began her career as an elementary school teacher in China. And after immigrating to the US, she pursued further education in business management, marketing, and accounting while managing a chain coffee shop and the international boarding school under the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. We don't have enough time to unpack all that. In addition to her professional accomplishments, she also is an accomplished children's book author and environmentalist. Her first book, along with her eco-friendly products, raises awareness about endangered species. Lindsay's goal is to dedicate a future to promoting Asian community and culture, building bridges between all communities, and to spread love and peace. She lives in Oshkosh with her husband, Matt, and their two children. In her free time, she enjoys cooking, camping, traveling, and listening to classical music. I just want to point out that tomorrow is the deadline to nominate women of influence, and we may have some incredible women for you to nominate here. Please join us, ladies. We're glad to have you.
Thank you so much. I talked to Sarah before that I asked her what her major was, and she said marketing. I said, well, basically you're doing social work right now. So yeah. So yes, we are from Northeast Wisconsin Chinese Association, which is short for NEWCA. And can you go to the next slide, please? So I'm going to introduce who we are, the Northeast Wisconsin Chinese Association, which is NEWCA. We are a community-focused nonprofit organization. And our goal is to preserve and celebrate Chinese or Asian American culture, tradition, languages, business, and charities in the Northeast Wisconsin regions. We were actually founded in the 1980s by one or two Taiwan professors. And that Phil family founded this organization 40 years ago, and then it's been expanding as the Chinese population grows in the area. And our organization is totally volunteer-based. And we have organized and hosted many cultural events, including the New Year's event, Mid-Autumn Festival, or any festival that Asian community celebrate during the 40 years. And we have over 200 members before, but we are anticipating more because our Chinese population in the area have grown tremendously. We don't have an accurate calculation right now, but we are actively recruiting more talented to join our team and trying to reach out more Chinese American and Asian American in the area. So the organization has been an essential pillar for support of local Chinese American residents because we are the only Chinese organization in Northeast Wisconsin area. So this is our mission. Our mission have three parts. The first part is cultural awareness. Basically, that means we spread the culture, we foster cultural exchange and understanding between Chinese Asian Americans and to the wider community. And then we promote a multicultural awareness and appreciation through sharing our rich cultural heritage. And the second part is empower and support. NUCA, we're dedicated to serve the needs of Chinese or Asian American children, youth, adults, and families. We provide social, cultural, business, and educational programs, where we're gonna get into later. And then we are dedicated to connect our own people, Chinese, Asian Americans, to the whole wide community of Fox Valley or even the state of Wisconsin. We play an active role in building a more diverse and inclusive community in the area. And we wish we are the bridge between Chinese American communities to the wider community, to all the other communities, agencies, and government agencies in the Wisconsin area.
Okay, so we have, as of right now, we have 4 major committees in our organization. The first one is the culture committee, and then business committee, and community service, and youth. So the first one is our culture committee. It's one of the biggest one. There's 3 main goals we would like to achieve in this committee. The first one would be, again, as Fanny mentioned earlier, we were strive to promote cultural diversity, which means I think everyone here have understanding. It's like we're becoming, as Fox City as a whole, we're becoming more of a diversity cities. However, I think in culture and many other stuff, we still have to catch up because we have people from all backgrounds are here, but we don't have, I feel like personally, we don't have enough different events or different holidays or festivals to celebrate because, again, that's to catch up. That will be one of our biggest goals, that we'll be playing our role to bring different cultures and to fill that gap and make everything more rich and diverse. And the second one is that, of course, for people and everyone's into Asian culture and they would like to learn, how can I speak Chinese? How can I learn to do calligraphy or arts or dance? So as an organization, we'll be offering all those classes. And again, it'll be discounted for the members as well. Like details such like Chinese learning classes, performing teams. Right now, we've already, under here, we can see that even though that me and Fanny, we have took over the organization since this year, but we've managed to form all those teams already. The first one will be Dragon and Lion dance teams. So if anybody open a business or have any celebration, feel free to contact us. We'll send our dragons and lions to your door.
And then the teams are not even only open to Chinese people. Anyone wish to learn how to dance, to participate, can join the team.
It's for all Wisconsin. Hopefully we go all over the country. We're gonna be really good though. We'll work hard. So and then again, as calligraphy, calligraphy is not,
it's not just a way to write in Chinese, it's also, in China, it's like a meditating, it's like a therapy, you know, like people do yoga. Not only you learn how to write in the language, but through the process, you kind of like self-healing as well. And then sports teams, you know, we have ping pong, everybody knows about Asians and their ping pongs, right? And
Have to have it.
yes, so hopefully we'll be offering more sports, but again, you know, this is all about connections, such as, you know, in America, like football is like our biggest sports. But I think there's not as many Asian Americans kind of understand that, just like a lot of like how to say, like other Americans, you know, trying to understand Asian sports. I feel like there's a huge need to understand each other. Like we can learn about football, everybody else can learn about ping pong, but how? You know, by through playing games together, right? And gatherings. And then the last one will be the traditional and modern dance. We've already formed 3 dance groups so far. So please spread your word to all your friends and families and colleagues that we look for people to join our dance teams. Right now we have like an elder female dance team. They do more like a traditional Chinese dance. They're always looking for members to join them. And the second one is more like how do you explain?
It's
like
for mostly by moms.
yes, I was thinking for moms, but you can definitely come if you're not a mom. We're not. This is not just for only moms. Yeah. So we also have a youth dance, more like a cake pop. And then again, this is just in the past few months. You know, we're looking to expand more of these teams, and to really the goal is to bring everyone together. And then again, the third one is that we want to attend and participate as many events and holidays and festivals as possible, because we feel like we have so much to offer, and it's been so long. Everyone knows that everybody looking for Chinese organization, there's none. So now we're here, you know, we need to catch up and bring ourselves to the table, and you know, and offer what we can. And then on top of attending other events, we'll also be hosting a lot of them on our own, such as, you know, since we took over, we did at the end of the January, we did the New Year party. That was a lot of fun. Definitely next year, we need to book a bigger venture and to do like, to allow everybody to come if they want to. And then for this year, we have other plans to do the events. I would say for surprise, because we have someone that's, Angeli will explain like one of our biggest events this year, which is the Dragon Boat Festival. Thank you.
Right, the other part, the other committee we have is community service. There's 2 parts of community service. First part is we encourage our members to volunteer in, you know, like in the community, such as homeless shelters, humane societies, soup kitchens, or nursing homes. And we have been cooking in homeless shelters for so many years. We bring Chinese food every other weeks to the shelters, and they really enjoyed it and enjoy the culture too, which is great. And we're going to continue doing that. And then with the organization participating in that, we wish to use our funding and our support to maybe go more times, you know, cook more food and reimburse the money they spend on the food and materials, which they used to do it on their own, which is great. And the other part is we want to support our own. As we know, as immigrants or someone move from other cities to here, we face a lot of barriers, whether it's culture, financial, or even language barriers. So we want to offer help to them. Basically, there's some examples we want to help with. We can do translation interpretation if they need help with anything. And then we have legal assistance. We have Chinese speaking lawyers that can help us do assistance or referrals. And we have insurance agents, welfare consultant. We do have realtors if you want to buy a house. We do have bilingual immigration assistance. And if you have an elderly at home who doesn't speak English and they need to care of, we have volunteers that are able to take care of them. Or if you have trouble to find childcare, we can provide that assistance too. And of course, a lot of elderly came over from other country and live here while their children were at home, at work. They're not able to go anywhere because they don't know how to drive and they don't speak English. We provide transportation services as well. So the other committee is business committee. I really want this be in our committee because I'm a small business owner. As a small business owner, I face so many barriers while applying for a loan, writing my business plan, and researching how to even start a business. So I want to form this business committee to serve many local small business owned by Chinese Americans, not only Chinese Americans, but all minority groups. So we want to provide business assistance, mentorship, and consulting. A lot of programs, we're still trying to negotiate and talk to other organizations so we can collaborate together to bring like more programs together. So we act first like a resource center. We do referrals to other small business support agencies, such like WIBIC, Gap Services, or even here, the Venture Center of the Fox Valley Technical College. And we give mentorships, which means we can match a small business owner with a more experienced small business owner. If you're comfortable to match with someone, speak the same languages, from the same cultures, or you just want to match with someone in the similar area, similar business, we can do that. And then you have education and networking resource, which means we can refer them to Fox Valley Technical College Venture Center for the classes, or WIBIC have their education programs too, to pinpoint them to appropriate classes they want to go. And then if they don't speak English, we can provide translation to those classes too. And the other part is we perform as assistant to them. If they want to apply business license, certificates, they want to apply a loan, grants, even me, I do speak English. I know a lot of first language as English people have hard time to read those regulations, how to apply for those licenses. So we have assistant for that. I can interpret it or explain, how the steps, how to apply them, the tips and everything. And then the other two programs we are working on currently, one is we are planning to form, a lot of you guys know that Fox Valley Venture Center have an EC program. The program actually instruct you from only have a business idea, all the way to form a business plan, to how to get a loan and how to run your business, how to do marketing. So we, as minorities, we face special barriers and obstacles, and I want to put that part in there to form a minority EC program. So we're still talking about it, trying to get grants. Once that going, I will put out more information and details about that program, and hopefully we can do it with lower tuition fees or even no fees. And the other program we are working with is we are working WCCC, which is the Wisconsin Chinese Chamber of Commerce. We're working with them trying to develop a marketing program where we can teach small business owners marketing tools, how to make website, how to design your post, Facebook, Instagram for free. And then after they even learn how to do that, they are able to post, they're able to make a website, we can give them a small matching grant for marketing for their business. So that's all we are planning for our business committee.
So the last committee is a youth committee. So before I start this, I kind of, I kind of want to emphasize a little bit because anyone that has any Asian friends or knows Asian, you know how we're crazy about education. So, and then honestly, that's like a really big of Chinese culture is that some family, they work really hard just to provide everything for their kids. And then it's actually, and then through the process, there's a lot of when they come here from China or even move here from a different city, they had to work so hard while they, both families and their kids often, doesn't have that, first of all, they're hard to fit in, they don't know where to belong. Second of all, that it's, their family has to work so hard just to provide, and then they couldn't really help them either. So they're kind of that situation can leave the Asian youth with a lot of I don't want to say mental health problem, but definitely struggles. They say, who am I? Where do I belong? Or how do I go make friends? How can I live other children, like, like in other communities. So that's why we really want to force this, we want to build this community because we want to get help for them, building like kind of like social groups where there are like more confident, stronger Asian youth leaders. They form a group and they kind of mentor other youths who has the struggles, and we offer programs such as often that when the families have struggles, they usually kept to themselves. That's another like Asian culture thing is that they I can do it, I don't need help. But we don't want them to do that anymore because we have all kinds of resources to, doctors, to just any way they need, we can offer help. And plus it's not just English speaking, it could be Chinese speaking too.
Yeah, and then a lot of youth experience hardships when they especially when they're second generation or third generation, because sometimes they don't speak the language and they know nothing about China. And then when people see their face, they're asking questions. Oh, where are you from? Where are you really from? And they're like, I was born here, I'm American. So they have this identity issue. Like, am I American? I'm a Chinese American, where do I belong? So that belonging problem is the thing that we really want to solve. We want to help them to find themselves, be confident about their culture, their backgrounds. And then we know a lot of families in the area actually adopted Chinese children from orphanage in China. And they want their children to find their root, but they have nowhere to find that. We are that agency that help them with that, which in New Year event, we actually have family drive 2 hours to attend the event just because they adopt Chinese children and they want them to experience the culture. So there's definitely a need for that.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Did I go to the back?
Yes, thank you, sorry. So it's okay. The reason Fanny adding, because she, as we all know, from the introduction, Fanny is a mental health expert. So, that's why we want to address it, and she can give us details. So another thing is that in the youth committee, we'll offer volunteer opportunities. It's very important for both for like education and future career wise, but unfortunately a lot of Asian families, especially Chinese American families, they don't know how that works. So we're here, not only offer their opportunities through volunteer, but also explaining how it works, the process. And then they all love to work. Every time we have an event, we have youth come help with so many things. And also under this committee, there's going to be scholarship programs as we work with businesses and governments. So they can also apply scholarships through us too. All right. now we're ready. Thank you.
Yeah, that's my contact information and hers, and that's Lindsay in our New Year event selling her book underneath with the traditional Chinese outfit. So we do have our contact information on the handout that we give it to you. So contact us anytime, any questions, any concerns. And then I think it's time for our big announcement. And let's welcome Angie.
Welcome, Angelie. She's gonna explain our big surprise from our organization for this year.
Before that, because I think Angie can introduce yourself a little bit.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I feel so seen. I really am good at ping pong, and it's true. I have a piece about being bicultural. I grew up, I was born near Chicago. Don't hold that against me. I'm a Bears fan. But I currently live in Oshkosh. I'm on the Oshkosh School Board. I'm also chair of the Oshkosh DEI Committee and serve with Lisa on the New North DEI Committee. I don't think I see anyone else from that committee, but so it's really good to Timber, yeah, Timber and Lisa, and I did have a shout out for Timber a little bit later on, but yes. So thank you for having me. I'm going to talk a little bit about this great partnership that the city of Oshkosh and NUCA will be having, and that's through the.
Are you ready?
Yeah. The Northeast Wisconsin Dragon Boat Festival. So it so happens that the city of Oshkosh has been working on a cultural event, And Lindsay and I had been friends, right? And then she was telling me about her friend Fanny. I've been seeing Fanny's face everywhere, from like Wibit covers to, just like minority business coalitions or whatever. Fanny's been everywhere. And so I'm like, I need to meet this Fanny. So Lindsay's like, I want you to meet my friend Fanny. That same week, my friend Irene's like, you have to meet this woman, Fanny. So it all kind of worked out. And so right in the midst of, as the city of Oshkosh is like, okay, do we need to pivot from this cultural event? They're like, we want to bring back the dragon boat races that I think Timber suggested to Fanny. So Oshkosh has had a history of dragon boat races for, I want to say 5, 6, 7, 10 years. 10 years. It's been a wildly popular event, but that discontinued in 2015. And so, even when I made this announcement to the DEI committee, like I just sort of resounded like, yes. They were really excited about this. So this is a partnership with the city of Oshkosh, and we're calling the Northeast Wisconsin Dragon Boat Festival because we do want this to eventually spread to other cities and, in this region. Okay, we can move on. So this festival will fall September 16th and 17th of this year, and we've intentionally set it to that time because it's National Welcoming Week, and that is a big part of this festival. So it'll be an outdoor event that welcomes newcomers, promotes community-wide social connectedness and belonging, and boosts local economies. We're being really conscious and intentional about who we're curating as vendors and artists and performers. We're hoping to have some immersive activities, a global market, and an affinity fair. So really the mission comes down to 4 things. Celebrate the diverse communities of Fox cities, welcome newcomers, promote social connectedness and belonging, and boost local economies. Some, I think, secondary outcomes will be that, we want this to be a destination event that attracts visitors. And so some of these things, like I'm putting in there so I can spin it to our tourism department, right? Because they're gonna want that. We want to expand cultural experiences for people. We want to create new connections. And then some of these goals and intentions kind of align with the city of Oshkosh's DEI plan. And then also through this curate directory of diverse participants. So just from the National Civic League, I think we all in this room know the importance of welcoming and belonging, but the National Civic League cites reversing population decline and strengthening community resiliency, attracting and retaining talent. I've heard that so much and everywhere in all my spaces, fostering a greater sense of trust and social cohesion or social connectedness, and renewing energy around public service and the role of new leaders. So really kind of changing our ideas around who are the movers and shakers in our communities. This is from a City of Oshkosh survey. It's startling that only 41% just 2 years ago in Oshkosh felt that Oshkosh was a welcoming and inclusive community. 32% feel that it's a place accepting of diversity, and 42% feel like it's a place moving in the right direction. I don't know what the Fox cities, how those statistics would range, but I'm guessing it would not be too different. Although I know Oshkosh, we do have some work ahead of us. So these are just some of the different activities that we're hoping to have. Obviously food. Timber would say the unifying factor of all of us. Having some different performances. There's a Japanese taiko drumming group on campus that's already committed to performing, and maybe some community-wide Tai Chi or yoga.
Yeah, we actually confirmed yesterday, we have a Tai Chi master be on the stage and everybody in the audience can follow.
Yes, and so not only is that cool, but then, tying in, so the city of Oshkosh is part of our DEI ordinance was to really focus on 3 areas: health, housing, and economic mobility. And so how do we bring in health in a real way into this festival? By having a Tai Chi practice.
Before or after food?
During
All day long.
Some traditional dances.
Doing Tai Chi with the aggro.
With an aggro.
hard drink.
Well, you can move on. And as I mentioned, this does fall within National Welcoming Week, and that was very intentional. You can go on to the next slide. I'm just welcoming everyone, but particularly students, refugees. And as I mentioned, we want to put a tourism spin to this and make sure that everyone feels like this is like a destination event. So how do we build social connectedness and belonging? Well, through the dragon boat races, I think a lot of obviously teamwork and team building activities. But also, oh no, that's fine. Having an affinity fair. So we're curating and we're working with Color Bold organization to help curate Marketplace. And as well, just like bring in some organizations so that people are plugged in and feel like they have resources in our community. And hoping to bring in some live arts or like an art installation. Just met with this Korean artist out of Milwaukee who is really interested in this project, and so stay tuned for an announcement around that. But also having diverse vendors.
Yeah, we want to really support small business and minority business. We hope every small business can have a booth in our place. And then we hope every organization can have a booth there, so let the public know what's available in the community.
So I know you can't read this. So the city of Oshkosh has some DEI metrics, and we're really trying to align some of the activities and the intentions with the city's metrics around recruitment, raising those citizen survey scores up. They also have a goal around diversifying marketing materials, because that's needs to happen. People of color need to be on all their marketing materials, website, all of that, and then outreach. Creating lasting partnerships with police and fire, for example. And as I mentioned, the 3 areas that the DEI committee is focused on are health, housing, and economic mobility. So how do we then weave these into the festival? But also another tenet of our ordinance is to facilitate input through the community survey and have an education plan or an educational piece to this, whether it's just trying to weave a little mini lessons through each of the activities. So we've been really thinking about how to make this an equitable process, how to create an equitable framework through all this. And so these are some of the different ideas that we've had around equity, fair compensation for planners and key volunteers. Being really intentional about who we're inviting, everyone is invited, but being really intentional about curating from traditionally marginalized groups. And then even in our vendor fees and dragon boat race participants having a sliding scale. I'm not going to read all of these, but really we want to engage all stakeholders in the community. So a lot of these are specific to Oshkosh, but we are trying to expand to the greater region. Nonprofits, media, diverse organizations, corporations, the city of Oshkosh and all their departments as well. And we can move on. And this is just the revenue streams that we're thinking. So the city of Oshkosh has an event fund that from a previous event called Unity and Community that we're hoping to carry over, sponsorships and grants, vendor fees, participation fees through the Dragon Boat, and alcohol sales. So we have 2 other members, part of the core team who are not with us today. Shayna Yule is kind of an expert in marketing. She owns Salt and Pepper Marketing, and then Shang Lee, who also owns a marketing business consult. So the 5 of us are really the core team, but we're looking for volunteers. We're looking for people who, say hey, this is an area that I'm really, where I excel and I'd love to help. We're, open and accepting of all volunteers. This is really kind of in the early stages still, so we're still figuring some things out, but we're definitely enlisting people to
We
help
need
support.
everybody's support, every organization's support. If you have volunteers and if you want to participate in the race, we hopefully we wish all the nonprofit organizations can have a team. And then for that team, for the race, it's not like super competitive. It's just for fun. It's for team building. We're not like going national or whatever. So just grab your coworkers, grab your friends, your husband, your wife, and whatever. Just get on the boat and roll. Yeah, it's just a fun event. So we are hoping like every major company in the area can have 1 or 2 teams, and we're hoping we can get donations for smaller nonprofit organizations to participate for a lower fee or none fee. Yeah.
I think we're opening it up to some questions and answers at this time.
And do you just wanna make a plug for the tea that's?
Oh,
that you
yeah,
brought
go have some
today
boba
as well?
tea. Yeah, I don't know what flavors there are.
All kinds.
It's boba tea break.
Yeah. And then on the paper, we also have the website for our Dragon Boat Festival website. You can scan the code and go to the website. There's more information on there, contact info, and then you can actually register there if you want to be part of the team.
Yes.
Fanny, I'd love you to expand on some of the barriers you faced. You mentioned that it was really hard to open up a business as a minority-owned business owner. So could you share some of the ways that you encountered those barriers, what they look like?
You're gonna have to be.
I have to repeat that question for the people online. Fanny, you mentioned you encountered barriers as you went to open up your business, and I'm hoping you would expand on specifically what those barriers look like.
Okay, so there's majorly 3 parts that I'm facing barrier to. Number 1 is when I talking about I want to open a bubble tea shop, nobody knows what bubble tea is. And something new in especially in this area for bankers. New means unknown, unknown means risky, risky means no money. So basically I was rejected by 10 different banks when I applied for the loan. And one is because I didn't have a business background because I was studying social work. That I understand, which I did go to fact study Technical College Venture Center for the EC program and made a really amazing business plan as they told me. But still, because I don't have collateral, I was not able to get a loan. And I did consulted in small business consultant. I do have some people tell me that you will never be successful because this is coffee shop doesn't make money, or you don't understand the business, you're just dreaming. And then eventually I was reached out by both CAP Services and Vivek. So Vivek's models makes dream come true. So they say you're dreaming, okay. So they actually eventually funded me after my presentation, which is, I was so lucky that my loan officer was a Vietnam immigrant, and he know exactly what bubble tea is. He know the culture. He know how popular it will become, and he presented to the board, which the board of Vivek is formed by diverse populations, and they know about the culture barriers and everything I'm facing. So they eventually gave me the loan. I received the education that I needed, and since then I've been promoting smaller business or minority business to reach out to those kind of organizations to seek helping. Like if you need education, they give you education. If you need a loan, they have a Kiva program, which is, crowdfunding kind of, and which no interest. There's so many programs that's available, but as minority, because of languages or just not knowing it exists, they have hard time to find those resources. So like Nuka or even me myself, I want to become, the hub of all those resources. If they come to me, come to Nuka, I'll point them to where they need to go.
And we have somebody from CAP Services on the call today, which is, it's just lovely good.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Hold on. Hold on.
那个龙舟冠军的奖是多少钱？
没有钱，
没有钱，怎么可能
奖杯大奖杯
啊？好吧，
，or no, maybe some gifts.
Yes.
Thank you, Kyle.
He just,
Did you wanna share with us what that exchange was about?
I think he used to be study in China, right? Yeah, Taiwan. So he speaks Mandarin. He just want to show off his Mandarin.
And it was well done. Well played. Well played.
He actually asked if there's money, if you won the Dragon Ball Festival. I said, no, there's a big trophy and you get some gifts.
Katie.
I'll just show off that I used to do dragon boat racing. I actually participated when I worked in Oshkosh, the Wisconsin Resource Center. They had a team, a very active team. So if anybody signs up, I won't have an organization to go with, but I'd love to be on the team. Kind of know what I'm saying.
You can be our new coach.
That's awesome.
Very fun day.
So you can come to Nuka and be our Nuka team. Because Nuka is just a host. In this festival is for everyone. And the whole thing, it's my dream and vision for this is just bring everyone together to have a great party, eat great food and have alcohol, of course. And then the most important of all that is that you go home at the end of the day. I hope I can say this without tears. You know, you feel like I belong, you know, I fit in. So it's for everyone. So come to Nuka and be our team.
I'm glad you guys are just coming back to the community center in Oshkosh. It was a really nice event and it was, yeah, it was great. So,
Thank you. Yeah,
very excited.
call me. Because yes, we as a host, we also will form a team or two. Yeah, be with us.
For the sake of planning, we're just wondering how many people can fit in the dragon boat? Because we're about to make this happen.
Yes, so correct me if you find other answers on Google. So I think the paddlers are 20, so it has to be half women, half men. I'm sorry for, you know, like if you identify yourself as, but just, you know, everyone welcoming anyways. But anyways, there's gonna be a drummer in the front and a steerer in the end. So total, every boat is 22. 22.
That's awesome. Any other questions? I just want to be mindful of time. We have about 4 minutes left. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Oh, David.
If you don't
Hold
have
on.
enough people, you can combine with other groups.
Yes.
Get a team together.
Or, you know, if you don't have, like, if your organization doesn't have enough, just all you have to do is contact Nuka. We'll figure it out. We'll help you combine with other, because people register, we'll be the first to know who registers and how many people they have. We can always combine you with other teams to, you know, to form, like, to have enough.
So I'm just curious, my reception is not great in this room. But does your website or do y'all have a list of Chinese and Asian owned businesses in the region?
We will, we don't, as again, we're still in the very beginning phase of building Nuka and planning this event. So and everybody is volunteers, so we're doing the best we can, but we will, yes.
Awesome.
And then we are working with Color Board, as you know, that Color Board is in charge of the vendors and business vendors in the event. But at the same time, I know Color Board is building an app, like a catalog of all the colored and minority business in the area. So you can just search and go, yeah.
Any other questions? Fanny, I was thinking about barriers to starting your business, and I was thinking about my own journey a little bit, and well, there's a lot of things, but one thing that came to mind was the financing, and took months, almost a year to get financing when I started the marketing firm. And I always remember one of the meetings was 3 male bankers, and it was my business partner and I at the time. And he said, "Do your husbands know you're here?"
Oh my gosh.
That's 15 years ago. So just like, I think about that, so it just kind of hit home when you were talking about that. And since then, I've learned to adjust how I talk to bakers personally. And I've also been very forthright when going to a baker with my husband. And the baker was only making eye contact with my husband. I said, you might want to look here too. So I just see it, say something, move on.
Exactly, and then a lot of minorities, especially when they're immigrants and they speak with accent, they were nervous when they facing the bankers and they're like, they're up there, I'm right here, but that's not true. I want to tell them that you are the expert of your business, you know what's going on in your culture, use that as a confident. You are educating them about your business and your culture.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your presentation and sharing with us. We're so excited where you guys are and where you're going and to be a part of the community. And I often say when we meet, you know, like, welcome to the family, like, we're just so excited and supportive of whatever we can do for the Multicultural Coalition side and the community at large. Just love that you're here. Any final questions or comments or anything quickly that somebody wants to share on behalf of your organization that's going on? I know we're a little bit at time, but does anybody have anything you want to promote, share?
I can share something.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Polly Olson. I'm the police chief for the city of Appleton. And we're actually in the beginning stages of planning a community event. It'll be May 18th at Pierce Park. Hope to see all of you there and any of the folks you can bring with you to the event. But it is National Police Week as well as Department of Public Works Week. So we thought it would be a good time to bring those organizations together and do something community-wide. So food trucks, family-oriented events, touch a truck, that type of event. Easy for me to not say very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything they want to promote? Kyle?
Hi, so Kyle Armstrong here again. I am the Director of Inclusion in the Outdoors and also a leader at Camp Onaway's Leadership Training Conference, which is a wonderful 1-week-long high school leadership building camp. We're actively recruiting non-traditional campers. So if you are from a family that has a child who is in 10th grade right now and is interested in having a summer camp experience, maybe hasn't had that in the past or has been intimidated by the kind of the history of those camps, I have some brochures here. If you're an organization that works with youth, I'd love to give you a couple brochures. And we have scholarships available. We'd really love to see those kids at camp.
Thank you. Anything else? Yes, hold on. I feel like this is a game show. Is this a game show or a talk show? I don't know.
Yeah, hi, my name is Rayan Brown and I work here at Fox Valley Tech. Feel free to check out our website. I'm gonna roll on the camp thing as well. So this summer coming up, we have camps for middle school students. We will have 3 camps, one for Latinx individuals that identify as being female. We have one for the Asian community, one for the African American community. Those camps are listed on our website for the camps. We will also have scholarships. There's only one little catch to the scholarship is like the individual getting the scholarships will need to be eligible for a free and reduced lunch.
Your room day.
Scholarships are from DPI.
Is that expired stuff? How expired? Very expired? Take 2 steps backward and see if Ann take us.
Are we picking up somebody else's audio?
We sure did.
Okay. I thought my voice was in my head.
I'm used to the voices. Peter Giannopoulos, United Way, Fox Cities. I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for the Multicultural Coalition and all the work that you guys do. Couple things, just one to point out is that the Nonprofit Leadership Institute actually has a program for nonprofit leaders, organizations. Annette, you can reach out to her, but from a United Way perspective, if funding is any type of issue or funding is a challenge, United Way will pick that up. We're actually paying for, I think.
Yes, you're paying for us.
The 2 of you
Yes, so
and like
much.
2 other organizations. My goal is to make sure that you access to resources to make you stronger. So from that perspective, if you're interested in the program, I think it's filled for this year. But for next year, if you're interested, reach out to it now.
There's a program tonight. There's a program tonight at Appleton North High School.
Oh,
All right.
The voices are back.
Connie, hang tight.
Okay,
It works, okay. Hi, my name is Ajur, I'm with Pointers Community Initiatives. So our organization is running some scholarships for high school students that we are currently running and we're accepting applications for. And we are still in need of donations to help fund our program. We're gonna be giving students scholarships around 500 to 1,000, largely for African American and minority students. So we're looking for donations. If you or your small organization wish to donate to us, you can come talk to me. I can direct you to our website to help with that. And we're also looking for some more members to join our scholarship committee to help select these students. Again, you can contact me, I can give you my card and we'll give you the information we need. So thanks.
Ajur,
Thank you.
didn't you extend the application deadline as well?
Yes, we did extend the deadline for the applications. For the students mainly, they're gonna be due on the 3rd of April. That will be when the applications close and then we'll start our selection process.
Thank you, Ajur. Damn, Gina, you are good.
Anybody else before, is there anybody else in the room before we move on to our virtual folks?
I think you're ready.
Good, okay. Connie,
okay, I just put it in the chat that there is a presentation tonight on refugees and immigrants. It's one of Common Ground's community conversations. It's free from 6 to 8 p.m. And I just went on the Common Ground Fox Valley website and it looks like you can still register. So I think Tammy McLaughlin is part of it from World Relief. And so I think it should be an interesting event.
Thank you, Connie.
Jane,
Yep.
Anyone else online have any updates?
Jane, go next. Jane, can you hear us? You're up.
I don't know, maybe she
I-
can, maybe it's her mic.
She has not muted, but I can read what she typed too. Do you want me to have that?
Yeah.
I know I'm loud, but I don't have to be. Okay, so this is from Jane with Samaritan. Come to Creating Hope, an antidote for suicide webinar on March 23rd from 9 to 10:30. I think she meant to say 2023, not 2022. But there is a link, and we also have put that link for this presentation in past MCC communication update emails. So if you don't have that and you want that, we can send that to you again. And just taking a quick browse here. You did receive a personal invitation for a speaking engagement, which I'll send that to you privately. And then Barb, do you want to go next to read your first 5 update, or do you want me to read that? I will read that. All right, let me scroll back up. So this is Barb from First 5 Fox Valley. They are looking to interview groups to hear from parents about how a family resource center would be used in our region and where locations might best serve communities. We would love to hear from populations included in this wonderful multicultural coalition. If you're willing to be interviewed or have an opportunity where we can connect with the parents of young children, please email Catherine or Barb, and we can put those email addresses in an email as well. Anybody else in here? That's all I have.
Oh, Miss Anne Marie in the back. Hold on. And if you have to take off, we completely understand.
Please grab a bubble tea before you go.
And some egg rolls.
And I'm Anne Marie Ving with New Monk Professionals. And every Friday we have line dancing with the elders from 5 to 7 p.m. and it's free to everyone.
5 to 7 at your new building.
Thank you. Okay, I think today is a wrap, and I wasn't kidding when I said grab food on your way out. Just leave me 2 egg rolls and we will be good. Thank you all for coming, and I don't know if we know what our next, oh, look at that. Wait, what is this? Next meeting? No, you mean April 11th.
I sure do.
Okay, so Tuesday, April 11th. So we will be back in this room again for a hybrid?
Correct.
Okay. So, and
Melissa here? No, ma'am.
okay, so, and that one is focused on careers, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, the Accelerate Wisconsin program, with goodwill. So thank you all again for being a part of Multicultural Coalition. Tuesday meeting at noon, we appreciate you, and let us know if you have any questions or you want to be sure to be included in our distribution and our meeting planners. Thank you.
I know a lot of people that
And we'll promote it and share it. Yeah.